Hello and welcome to the Right Talk. Yay. So excited. I am Latidra, and I am one of the creators of the Right Talk. Thank y'all for coming out tonight.
My name is Sheena, and my IG is Right Crush. Welcome. We're glad that y'all are here.
I'm Brittany. My IG is one minor edit. So welcome to the show.
Oh, hi. My IG is I am Tiffany D. Young. Thank you for watching today.
Tiffany is here today. We're going to be talking about doubt. The title of our show today is called The Right Doubt. And so we are just going to talk about all the fears and hesitations that we have while we're writing, while we're publishing, all that good stuff. So let's just kick it off then, okay, with the first, why did we choose this topic is the first question.
We picked this topic because some of us have a lot of doubt. That would be me. And honestly, I feel there are days that when I write, and I don't know if this is true for all of you, but when I write, I feel like, man, this won't work, or this has been done again, or I've seen this before. We are here to tell you don't do that, because there are books that have been turned into stories on Netflix. We're not going to name any names, but there's some numbers in the title.
One of them may or may not be free.
I don't know. But that have made it, and you're looking, I know you've seen it where you're looking at something and you're just like, I could have did that. Or that could have been, yes, that could have been you. Yes, you can do that. You can still do that. We're telling you to please do that. The world needs your voice. And even if you are telling a story that may have been told before, nobody has heard it from your unique voice. And we have Tiffany here who's going to tell us about how she got over some of her doubt when she started writing her books.
Okay. Well, I think, first of all, you have to have some people behind you encouraging you. And also you have to be able to be positive and know that just because, someone else has done something spectacular and different, everybody loved it, you have to know that you can do it as well. And I think if you push yourself and you have the right people behind you, helping and encouraging you and pushing you, that it'll work out.
For sure. I know that like during this book that I have now that's coming out in a few weeks. Yay! It's not a fantasy one, so I won't talk about it.
It's okay, you can talk about it.
Just a little plug, but no.
Shameless.
Just visit her IG. Just visit her IG page to find out what it is.
Oh, that's true. It is all over my IG page. It's just like at times you get so discouraged by it, It's like how many times you have to edit it, how many times do people have to go over it. And then just like today, I was just trying to figure out the cover and everything because I did my own cover. So it's like trying to figure out how to configure it to to Amazon standards. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I was just like, I was getting really frustrated today about it. And I was thinking like, well, do I even need to do this? Do I even need to continue? Because, but it's that thing that it's never going to be absolutely 100% perfect either. That's why I quit trying to fix the cover, quit trying to make it super pretty or whatever it is. Like it is what it is. It's done, right?
So can you imagine all the people
to step away? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, can you imagine all the people who haven't finished their book because they're trying to make it perfect and it's like it's never going to get there to publish?
Exactly.
That's true. If you love the story, hey, put it out there.
Put it out there, please.
You can always do a remake.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. What is the worst fears of writing or completing the work in progress that you have going on now?
Oh, I think the most is that you have to be practical. You have to know that it's not going to be perfect. You have to know that when you release a book and it doesn't come out exactly like you want it, you can always redo it. Just like Brittany said, there's so
Yes.
many different ways you can just edit, chop up a book, and and do everything you need to. So you have to know that you're not going to be perfect.
That's true.
For me, I don't really have a worst fear when it comes to like completing the writing, um, the story that I'm working on. It's just like I just want to have fun doing it. It may take a while considering how much I have to build in this world. Um, but it's just like the Nike commercial, just do it. Their slogan, just do it. And it's like they mentioned before, like there have been books and even films that weren't originally books that, you have to look at the storyline and be like, how did this get made? Like, who thought it was a good idea to spend millions of dollars on this film? So, I mean, I'm sure we've seen those films or ran across those books that made us have that question like, I could do better than that. So then just go and do better.
Yep. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Because I think we all, as writers, have had that one book that we
Mhm.
read and we just like, what in the world?
But not even
Yeah.
like in a hater way, like, man, this I should have published my book, but more, well, if they can do that, surely I can. Like, there's really no
Absolutely.
reason that I can't publish my book, which is going to be amazing. Like
Right.
Nedra's book, who was also a
Yes.
show that's about to come out. It's hanging.
How long have y'all been working on your current projects?
Mine's I finished my first book, which is going to be re-released, Eight in the Beginning. I finished it in the winter of 2007, and I first
Wow.
published it in 2015. So that was 7 years, and
Wow. Okay.
I'm republishing it this year. So just imagine how long it takes for you to just say, okay, this is it. No more editing. No more listening to people saying, oh, you should change this. You should do this. You should add this. You should add that. I was just like, I took a leap of faith when I first released it. It came out. The editing was horrible. The editing was horrible. And I tell you, when I sold some of the books, I had some of my friends come to me and be like, that word on the back of your book, it's not spelled right. This part is not right. Oh yeah. Okay, I've been through it. So it took a long time, but now to be re-releasing it, I feel that it's perfect. It may not be perfect to anyone else, but I feel
Right.
like this book is freaking awesome and you're gonna love it. And even if you don't, you're gonna say you love it.
My credit
You're
card's
gonna
ready.
give me a
Put
review.
it out.
You're gonna give me a
Okay.
review, whether you like it or not. So there you
Dang.
go.
For real. I remember I released a story on Wattpad
Okay.
this year, I think. And it's the Sasha Grey series, Divulge Part 1. And it was just like, I had been working on it for a while. I've been working on it like when I was working in Parkland, and that was this is my first son. 2017, I think. Up until now, like, and I was just like, you either gonna put this out or you just gonna like let it sit. So what you gonna do? And I was like, okay, I'm about to finish it. So I finished it, and whether or not it's like good or decent or whatever, like the point is that I tried my best for what it was then,
Exactly.
and then I put it out, and it was just like, it was that fear of not knowing like how people would react to it, who would even read it. And it was just, but it was one of those things that I think I needed, especially as a starter, to just push me out there and say, okay, you got this. But it was hard. It was scary putting it out there. People even now, they hear me complain. People go on there and they talk about it and they give me comments and stuff. And I'm just like, I understand. I know it's not finished. I know it's a little, all over the place sometimes, but can we just I did it?
You know what? You have to take that criticism and that negative criticism, and you have to turn it into positive, something positive, because nobody's perfect. I'm sure, J.K. Rowling, messed up a couple of times, more than a couple of times before she got it the way she wanted it. So I think we all have to, as writers, we need to stop being so negative and having so much fear. We have to stop doing that, because just, being creative, that's one thing that creatives, I like to say creatives because we all are creative people. I think that we put too much pressure on ourselves. I think we put way too much pressure on ourselves.
We do. We really, really do.
I think it's because we read those books, and there's those books that we absolutely adore and love, and it's like we want to meet that standard, because to us that standard is like the standard. So we're trying to reach that level and be that from the jump.
Yeah,
but
right.
What people have to also consider is that, for one, everybody did not get taught English the same. Like, everybody doesn't have the same resources in school. So
Can I
the
say
rules of
amen to that one?
so the rules in your school for English might be totally different from what somebody else had in their school. So, and I think that is something that people may or may not really think about. And it's not necessarily that it's wrong, but you just got taught differently. And if people understand that, then I would hope that people would tone down their criticism. Like, yes, still provide feedback if you see something wrong. If you're like a proofreader or a beta reader, like, I would rather know, like, hey, like you mentioned, this word on the back is spelled wrong. Because if I can catch it before it actually goes out, then that's one less thing to be concerned about.
Yes, see, I didn't have that, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us don't necessarily have that sort of person in our lives that is able to do that sort of thing, or will want to do that sort of thing. Yes.
That's true.
So it's like we do the best we can with what we got. And so we have to get comfortable with the process, with the journey that we're on, because it takes a journey in order for you to grow and progress and become better than what you were before at the start of it. So these are just trial and errors. Just make note of, the feedback that you get, see what you need to improve on. And if you have trouble with just grammatical stuff, then go and learn about that part of the English language. Like, if you have trouble with spelling words, practice spelling those words so you don't have to worry about it. I mean, that's the only way you're going to grow and get better.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Do y'all have issues with
trying to get me, Brittany? You're trying to get me. I heard that sarcasm.
Do y'all have issues with your family supporting you in your writing career?
I don't. I don't really show them my writing anyway, because most of the time family is either automatically biased, or is, depending on what you write and the type of family that you have, they're not really down for it. So typically, I mean, kudos to those individuals that got really supportive family members that will take a critical look at your work in a positive way and help you to develop it better. But for me, I really don't show them the drafts.
Yeah.
Like, I'll show them the finished product, but I won't show them the drafts.
I know, I let my friends look at it. They will be so honest with me. It's crazy.
And that's awesome. And that is awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I really lost interest in this part. You can put more action in this scene. And it was just like, well, you didn't describe this enough. And I was like, who is writing here? You and me.
How dare you?
And
But
that's a
I
good thing.
but I asked though. I want them to tell me that. I don't want them to sugarcoat it, and because they know first off, even like without the writing, I'm not gonna sugarcoat for them. So I don't expect them to sugarcoat anything for me either, especially something that I'm passionate about. So it's like, tell me the truth. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like, and let's see if I can fix it. If I don't agree, I don't agree.
You may as well, because the people that actually buy and read your book are not going to hold back what they think about your
We
book.
sure
At
are
all.
not.
Exactly. Those comments are gonna be brutal. Those reviews, oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And I'm an honest
No,
reviewer, so I'm sorry if y'all read one and it was not right for you. But
You don't have to apologize. You don't have to
I'm an honest
No.
reviewer, honey.
you
I
know
get
what?
that, but when
Our
I read a
minds
book,
don't necessarily, our minds is not like other people's minds. So when you're creating something, you may think it's super awesome and like that line was awesome. Nobody can beat that line. But somebody else will read it and be like, what were you thinking?
didn't even understand
What
that.
does that mean?
Look at
Yes.
what we're going for
Mhm.
here.
So you don't have to apologize. Everybody doesn't think the same. That's me basically.
And this is the
I
truth.
I think it's a lot about how you can tell someone anything, and but still is depending on how you say it. Like if you
Mhm.
don't agree with something, that's fine. But there's literally no reason to get onto somebody's review and just start ragging on the
Fashion,
book,
yeah.
like
Let's
for
not do that.
no real, like it's not even real, like actual constructive criticism. I've seen some reviews where they're just like going all out on this person, and I'm like, did you read the same book? Because what I
and,
read.
and then too, I'm like the person that'll go and reply to that review and be like, can you write it better?
Really?
Can you write a book? Do you know how long it takes
Yeah,
to write a book? Can you do that?
it is
That's
interesting to
aggression
see
right there. You
people.
brought the aggression out of me. I'm sorry.
I
Let me
mean,
not go review my book.
but I mean, you're gonna have to expect those kinds of people, because those kinds
Exactly.
of people do exist out there. You know,
Mhm.
as the
Mm,
internet has dubbed them, you're gonna have your trolls.
Yeah.
So
mm.
some
Exactly.
people just want to leave a hateful review just because, and it
Yeah.
really has to do with the book. Like I'm pretty sure, like you might have scrolled through the ratings of a book or any product, and the majority of the comments and product reviews are like, "Yeah, this thing is awesome," but then there's that one unhelpful review, at least one, that
Right.
just like, "Oh, this was stupid," but you don't give a reason why.
Don't tell
Yeah,
us, yeah.
So
Isn't that
you're gonna
crazy?
have those,
yes.
yeah. So you're gonna have those kinds of people. So you just have to pick and choose, like what you want to expend energy on.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
Hmm.
So are they worth it if they're not giving you anything adequate, any kind of adequate feedback to help you improve your writing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I think we were talking about my Watt pet story when I was talking about somebody had critiqued it, and but it wasn't constructive. It was just like, well, I don't understand this, or I don't get this, or something she was saying. And it was just like, well, like we probably first come from like two different parts of the world, right? Where, you may not get all of the things that I say and how I say them. Because I've heard that Texas is its own little, world out here. So it's just like
It
That's
is.
you might not always get it or understand it, but it's no reason to go in and just like bash everything. But that kind of stuff right there, it makes you second guess yourself, and it makes you second guess your work. And then that's when you need like friends.
Hey.
Yeah, like for real. But the other
But
thing to
you,
consider too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, like if you're gonna be thin-skinned, writing is not for you. So let's start that off. Like if you can't handle criticism, you get your feelings hurt real easy. Writing is not your
Not for
bag, because
you.
once
absolutely.
they put some money on whatever you wrote, it is straight out the door. They're gonna
Man,
it's crazy.
people are
But
gonna
it's a
be,
lot of fun though. I mean, it's a labor of love.
yeah, put all your hard work into your baby. Some
Yep.
people,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like your being. Not everybody's gonna like who you are and what you
Mhm.
stand for. So you either can let it roll off, and or you can like carry it on your shoulder for the next, 20, 30 years. And I'm not trying to carry that baggage.
You're right.
Got
It's
enough
not worth
going
it.
on.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Like, and to be fair to those reviewers who may not necessarily be able to like say things in a manner that won't exactly like make us feel like they're like jabbing us.
Right.
Because there are some people that, like me, for example, it's really hard for me to do that. I just like to be blunt because at the end of the day, I really don't mean any harm. But it's like I have to waste like 10 minutes to come up with a 5-second comment, and it's like, oh my gosh, like listen, like I'll try to preface it like I don't mean any harm, but or something along those lines.
I would just literally say like, book can be edited again, or like the characters kind of blended together. Like I would make like statements like that.
I always start off with a positive.
Yeah.
Positive in the beginning. And then as they're reading, they're excited, and then you say, okay, but this was kind of, needs a little bit editing. Mm-hmm. That word was wrong, and I'm just trying to help you out. 3 stars. That's all you can do. Reel them in, let them get excited about them, about you reading the book. Be as decent as possible. Give them the details, give them their stars, and just leave it alone.
This is true.
That's too funny. How are y'all on getting stuck? Do y'all often get stuck while you're writing and decide like, I'm gonna quit or I don't want to do this anymore?
It depends because there's a lot of, I guess, competing factors in life. I know, like for myself, like I'm trying to think. Typically, when I get stuck, I am probably really tired from other stuff going on in life. Like you have to deal with your job, and then if you have a family, you got to deal with them, so on and so forth. So sometimes you get really exhausted, and you really don't feel like doing anything because you're trying to catch your rest. Mm-hmm. But you have to. But if you are seriously considering writing and trying to get something published, at the same time, you're going to have to try to figure out a way to get your writing done. To get unstuck, just free write. It doesn't even have to make sense. Just do like a stream of consciousness writing, just whatever comes in your head and just type it, because you never know, like the most random idea might just get you unstuck. And the next thing you know, you've pounded out 50 pages worth of manuscript.
That's right. I agree with that one.
Like research if you're stuck, like if there are certain things in your book that are prominent, like if your character is a firefighter, do some research on firefighters. Like go find personal accounts by firefighters, what they've encountered, what they had to deal with, and that sort of thing. Because research is a big one to help get you unstuck, because you find the most random facts ever. So.
And then you think you're going to use all those facts when you start writing, but you only use like 0.5% of it.
Exactly.
45 tabs later.
45 tabs later.
Just to write one sentence, and you're like, whoo. I don't know what I had to do to get that one sentence.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
So how about you guys? How do y'all get unstuck?
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Tiffany, you go ahead.
I walk away. Even though I don't like walking away from my projects. I know that when I have hit that limit to where not even, like Brittany said, free writing helps, I just walk away. It makes me angry just to walk away, but it calms me too. It relaxes me, because you do have so much going on in your personal life that you don't have time to actually sit down and write. So when you do, it's forced, and you have all that tension. You try in your mind, you're like, I gotta write. I need to get 5,000 words today, and I need to make it fit. I need to get 10,000 done by the end of the week. you put so much pressure on yourself and you have so much tension going on that I just walk away. I have to walk away.
Yeah. For me, I go and read. I do anything else that's creative, anything else that puts my mind like at ease. I try to paint, but I ain't that good at it. Um,
Oh,
I
Painting
do,
is relaxing.
but it's just you do whatever. I try to like go in my little garden, but it's just you do whatever you need to do to just relax and not think about writing. Like it's okay if you miss a day of writing, and it's okay if you miss a week of writing. Like it doesn't make you a bad writer. It just means that you're human and you need a freaking break because life is hard sometimes.
Yes.
And as much as we love to write and do this, it's still a lot. It's like it's almost a second job.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much time and effort you have to put into it. Also, when I get stuck, I like to Pinterest a lot. So if you visit my Pinterest, you're gonna see like a lot of boards. It really sparks my juices and gets it going. And I am not ashamed of my Pinterest board. So there we go. Encourage you to go see it. It's holidays.
see her Pinterest boards, and she has nothing to be ashamed of. Don't be afraid if you see her Pinterest boards. You're not going to see any naked people. I guess we didn't get to any of those boards. I don't know. But
no, you won't see any naked.
But
you might see a shirt or two off, but like nothing like graphic. We don't want all that.
Oh, I personally thought it was. I was like, oh, this is how other writers. This is so interesting. Like I like being able to see other people's processes. It's like, oh, that's Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany does all kinds of stuff. She has like little tabs and she writes things, and it's like, oh, Brittany is so awesome. I'm a pantser, so I don't have any of the organization and I don't know.
Like I legit applaud you for that.
Yes, like my ADD, just ADHD, was just like, nah, girl.
I'm like, where's that tab? What I had.
No.
Like it just depends. It depends. Like I can be either or. Like for writing, because I don't really outline as of yet. I'm thinking about doing an outline once I get some index cards. But like I can be a pantser, and then if I get stuck, I might try to do a bit of an outline to see where I need to go, where they've been and where they need to go, if that makes sense.
Old school index cards, man.
Yes, I like my paper. I love my paper.
But the index cards work, especially when you're building a world. Like it really helps to like stick them up there so you can keep in touch with it. Like my big series that I'm still working on, it's like you have to keep in line with all the plot lines that's going on, and you have to remember like, oh yeah, this is going to happen in book 2, so you kind of need to foreshadow some stuff, right? And so like those index cards come in handy. I got a big stack over there now, honey.
Man, I wish I was like you guys. I want to be like y'all when I grow up, because I'm telling you, I write the story first, and then the hard part is going back and doing the character bios and remembering what I did in this scene or what I wrote in that scene and what this person's. I'm backwards. I have no clue. I organize like from the end to the beginning. That's just crazy.
Yeah, that's
not crazy. I'm about to say I do that sometimes as well. Yeah. Sometimes you need to work backwards.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. I feel better now.
No,
I do it with the shorter stories though. With the longer stories that actually like, because most of my short stories are between like 10 pages to like 160 maybe. And so like with those, like I can kind of see beginning, middle to end. But when it gets to like my big book, it's like almost 400 pages. And so like that is the part where it's just like
400.
Hey, that if you're doing high fantasy, that's normal. In some cases, that's like small.
Really?
So I can take on some vacation so I can read your book because I'm going on.
Listen, I read books. You know what? At first, And that's another thing too. It's just like at first I was so like I was almost embarrassed that my book was so big. But it's
No.
just like I really read like 400-page books like all the time and don't even think about it.
Yeah.
This is so good. I remember I was reading this lady's books. All her books are almost like 400 pages. And like I was reading them back to back to back to back. And I was like, I wonder what the word count is. And I saw like the word count. And I was like, oh my God. So it's like if it's a good
Who
book,
thinks
like
about the word count? That's funny.
Isn't an epic novel like 100,000 plus words before it becomes an epic?
I think
crazy.
so. The count is up there. Nicole says like those plot charts we used to do in school, and she mentioned Harry Potter.
How big is Harry Potter?
I think the
Ooh.
later books started becoming much bigger. I don't know what the complete work. Yeah, I didn't finish the series because I just got so sick of Harry and his uncle and aunt. I'm like, like I think I stopped on book.
You get through it.
It's like, come on, dude, you're a kid. I'm pretty sure you can figure out some way to like get out the situation or to try to do something.
One person, you are the only person that I know that actually can say something negative about Harry Potter.
Oh, no,
Well, it's not negative. It's not negative. I take that back. It's not negative. It's just like it's Harry Potter.
No, I know a few people who don't like Harry Potter and have not read
Really?
it and are adamant about not reading it.
Like I don't mind Harry Potter, but it's just like at some point, I guess to me, it started just losing its
Blending.
luster. Like so, it's just like I usually don't do well with like extensive series, even when it comes to TV shows. Like the most I usually can do is like 2 seasons, and that's if it's like really good. I just can't. Usually by the 3rd season or so, it's like a series is usually done for me.
Well, usually the writing starts falling off about
yes,
the 3rd
season. That's true. Yes.
Like we're just turning out stuff by that time. I guess that's why Netflix is like after 2 seasons, they're like, we're good, everybody. Thanks.
Okay.
And that's what I appreciate. And that's what I appreciate about K-dramas because I have not seen a K-drama. Not saying there aren't any, but I haven't seen or watched any that went over like 1 season. Like I like that their stories are like just contained. Like there's no expectation of a second season. It's one contained story. And I've encountered people who do like those kinds of stories where it's just that one book is a whole cohesive story and that's it.
Yeah.
So like I'm not dissing series or anything, but it's just it's nice.
Yeah.
But
there was a series on HBO that was like that, and I wish they would have left it with just one. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? With the ladies on it. I'm trying to look it up.
But I think America is really the only place that has those seasons that just continuously go like that. I think most other countries do have like 1 or 2 seasons and that's it. Like that's the whole arc and then we're done.
Big Little Lies, that's what it is.
Big Little Lies.
People were hating that they brought that they kept Big Little Lies. That they kept that show going for a 2nd season. I honestly think that I know that's not on topic, but I honestly think they should have left it as like 1 season. Like I felt like we didn't need to know what happens next. You know? Like I love those series, those thriller series that have, or those thrillers that have like it's complete, but it still leaves you wondering what's next.
Yeah.
But that's it. I just want to wonder. I don't want to actually like go into it because you mess it up that way. Like leave them alone.
Yeah. But I think a lot of times for books and television series or even film that it becomes, if it starts doing really well, it becomes a moneymaker. Then it's like you got to milk the cow for all it's worth.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that show on Netflix? With the young lady who made the tapes. Look at this. I can't think. Let me look at it.
So I applaud the people who made it through like, what is it, 8 seasons of Game of Thrones?
Not get started on Game of Thrones. Wait a minute. This other show. Hold on.
I have some
and all the books as well.
Like we'll have to do a whole other show on Game of Thrones and all the horrible things.
We
that they
really do. We should really do.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Oh,
I am one person
all
that
night.
I could not even turn on the first one. I have not even seen it.
Yes, 13 Reasons Why. That's it.
Oh, come
I
on.
know, I've heard of it. Okay.
Like the first 2 seasons was great, and then it was just like, all right, what y'all gonna do now? They should cancel it. They canceled the OA, and I don't know why they canceled it. It was such a great show. I love the OA.
That's another one I didn't do.
No,
No.
Which one?
the OA.
13 Reasons Why.
Oh,
Oh.
13. I
If that's
watched
even the
it.
name. See, I can't even.
It was so good though.
I didn't do
13
that one
Reasons
or
Why.
Game of Thrones. I couldn't get
I haven't
into
seen
it.
either of them either, and I'm not watching Game of Thrones.
Nope.
I haven't seen the OA, but the Game of Thrones, if you decide to go back, just watch the first 4 seasons. Don't go any past that.
That's it.
Don't hurt
Let
yourself
us
that
know,
way.
and we'll like summarize some things for you, and
Just
we
give
can
me
make
the
it a
summary.
lot better.
Yeah, I'd rather read it. Just give it to me.
Like, no,
I don't think
listen,
it's
I
even
tried to.
finished, so I mean, you could start it, but I don't think you wouldn't lead to anywhere.
13 Reasons Why is a book. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't. It's my first time hearing the title either. I mean, anyway.
Well, I've seen the advertisements for it, but I haven't seen it.
That's
Like, it takes me a long time before I watch any of those shows because I don't usually hear about them until much later.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like,
But
Yeah, way off topic. What else?
but y'all knew what this was when we got here.
Exactly. Book nerds keep going.
so
Everybody
shut-
watching the show, like, so y'all gonna talk about books? Like, look.
Right, exactly.
But
like,
hey, we're writers and screenwriters are writers as well. So
Yeah,
exactly.
represent.
Okay,
Like-
all of it.
yeah, I got into
Game of Thrones
screenwriting
is
last year.
our
so.
genre. Okay, Game of Thrones is our genre, so that's okay. I was at Harry Potter.
That-
I can't with you.
So shall we take a pause and let Tiffany pitch her stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
go ahead.
You want me to do a shameless plug? No.
Yes.
You know, because I can do it, you know. Hello. Okay. Okay. Just
Hold up your book and tell us about it, Tammy.
well, I do not have the cover of my work in progress. It's getting there. It's not done, but it's getting there. It's 8 in the beginning. I started this story, just like I said earlier, in 2007. It was first published in 2015. Now I'm re-releasing it, but it's a sci-fi fantasy. Woohoo. And I think what can I tell you about it? It's basically about I don't know how I'm trying to say it so it can be nice and quick.
They put you on the spot.
I know.
Hey,
look, like,
this is getting your pitch ready, all right?
That's right, the elevator pitch.
do it. Okay.
Yes.
It's basically about a creature from another planet being isolated on Earth after the death of his father, and he's trying to get himself together while dealing with that, and he comes in contact with this ever ambitious college student who is very danger prone, and it kind of changes up his life in the way that he's living because she's something else. But yeah, I'll work on a better pitch for you next time. Yeah, that was
It's
fun.
okay.
Show about pitches.
But it's out. It's still out now, right? On Amazon or something.
Oh no, it's not on Amazon yet. I
Okay.
wish it really was, but it will be released November of this year. I'm getting really excited for that, and hopefully it takes off and do really well because I put a lot of time into this book. It's my baby. It's my first baby. So, you know, I'm really excited to see what the world has to say about it.
Nice.
And
And
do you
where
have
can
a
people-
website? Oh yeah.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
was just about to ask the same thing.
My website is tiffanydyoung.com. You can check out all my latest information on there. And plus, I'm on Instagram. I do a lot of Instagramming. I am Tiffany D. Young on Instagram. So, yeah. Yay.
All right.
I'm going to work on the pitch, I promise. Next time I come, I'm like, oh, that. You'll be like, oh, I want that book.
Hey.
You know what's funny about pitches? Not what's funny about them, but the Twitter thing. So I've been really getting into Twitter lately, and they had. You remember one of the first when the Twitter people was like first like all the PLC. Let's pitch your ideas and stuff like that. I actually went in and like had somebody to help me with my elevator pitch for my Black Witch series. And so people were like some people were like bashing it. Some people were like all for it. It's just, I guess it just depends on what you think about it. But not to get into all that, but it's just like, I feel like if that help is out there at the moment, like why not take it? You know, like I didn't know. And I got like a few like query requests for it. Unfortunately, it's just like a thought. So it's not like a fully fleshed book, but it was just like, if I hadn't tried it or like stepped up and asked them about it to help me with it, then I never would have gotten it. So it's just like, it's one of those, it's hard. It's hard.
It is.
And this was like a professional editor who was like, this is what you should do. And
no matter how many times you get, I'm just going to be honest, no matter how many times you get the pitch in your head, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to say it this way, it always comes out a different way because it's not perfect. You're not perfect. So I'm one of those persons that, I wrote the book. Can't you just read the back of the book? I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm not the type of person who like to say, oh, well, this is about my book. This blah, 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 blah. No, I'm just like, I wrote it. Just read the back of the book.
The way I am. People ask me, what's your book about? Here you go. Won't you read it?
And I'm just being honest. I'm not that type of person that, I'm really normally not as talkative, but when it's time for me to put myself out there and be a little open, when it comes to making a pitch for that book, I'm just like, yeah, no, yep. So
I can talk about everything but my book. Like I can talk to y'all because like y'all are y'all, but like if I'm out in the world, then people start asking me, I'm just like,
Yeah, so you get that, you get that like, I don't want to talk, don't look at me, you can't see me. Yes, I do that too. Oh God, I'm so glad I'm not the only person that does that.
Because I feel like people are putting stuff, it's like the people at work. I love y'all if y'all watching, but it's just like when they see you writing and stuff like that, and they always want to know like, what are you writing? They want to know like every little detail, and it's just like, I don't know every detail. Can you just like
get over my shoulder? Stop looking at me.
Yes, I used to get that a lot in school. I used to get that a lot in school because if you start writing in your notebook, people get nosy and they want to see what you're doing. So to help deter that, I wrote like really tiny to the point where I can fit like 2 to 3 lines in one space on a regular.
Wow.
So
wow.
Like, if I ever find one of those notebooks, I will show you what I mean.
Oh, but that's so funny. That is so funny. I can't wait to see that one. Yeah, but I'm definitely happy I'm not the only person that has that a bit of anxiety when it comes to talking about your work.
Seriously. Do you have that, Shima? Or do you just like readily talk about it?
No, I feel like you want to hear what I'm saying, so I'm gonna talk about everything. Like, girl, so on the 25th, I did this and this and this, and then I wrote this, and over here I wrote all of the. Yeah, no, I'm just like, I think the problem I would have that I personally have is like once I'm finished with it, though, I put that on the shelf as finished, and I'm not talking about it again because I'm done. Like, what are we talking about now? On to the next one.
And like Nicole just mentioned, sometimes you have to let your work speak for yourself. So
I like that one.
So,
Yes. Yes. So
yeah.
everybody just erase the little pitch that I just gave and just read the book. There you go. When it comes
We
out, there
waiting.
you go.
the
Let
pitch
it
wasn't
see.
that
But
bad. The pitch was fine.
Ah.
so our next one is being Black and writing. And this can
Mm.
go into the next one too. The stigma of like street lit and fantasy writers, which is like a big one for me. Wait, she says, I like reading and forming my opinions about the work in question. That's why I hate audiobooks. Same. And you can't
I
even
can't
like
audiobooks. I
you
don't.
can't even get like because I like hearing the person's voice in my head when I'm reading. So if
Exactly.
you're reading it to me, like I can't fully get into it because first I can't see
Because
you. Like it's just
it's
weird.
not the same voice you hear. An audiobook is not the same
Yeah.
voice you hear in your head when you're reading.
Mhm.
Like I see this guy like this, and you up here reading like an old man. Like what is going on?
Seriously, they mess it up. They mess it up with those audiobooks. Not knocking anybody who does it, who likes
Exactly.
them. If it's for you, it's for you. But it's just like it's weird for me. I want to read it.
I would like audiobooks if they actually had like voice acting, like they used to do on the radios way back
Yeah.
when. And they have those radio dramas, and you have
Yeah.
more than one person acting. If they had that on audiobooks, I would be more inclined to like listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just one person's voice. Not saying that there isn't somebody out there with a nice voice that I can just listen to the whole thing by, but chances are
You
more
want a
often
movie.
than not, it's
You
not.
want a movie in your
You would
ear.
do want a movie because in your
You
head
want a
it's a
movie in your
movie.
ear. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. I don't want just a voice saying, well, she went to the store. No,
And
I
that's
want to hear
exactly
like,
what they sound like.
Let me ask you
The sound
this.
effects and
So,
everything.
when y'all
yes.
picture something, so if I was to say like 2 + 2, are y'all seeing numbers in your head when you're saying that? When I say that, like you
Yes.
automatically, like you
Yes.
picture, you picture. Okay, so that's not how my head works at all. Like I hear a voice telling me 2 + 2. So when I listen to audiobooks, like I get the full experience. Like I can't visualize what y'all are visualizing when y'all do books.
Oh,
So for
okay.
me, audiobooks are amazing. I'm like, shut up! I can read a book and do my homework. Yes. I can listen to some literature while they're cooking. So like I enjoy audiobooks, but like I can see like for someone who readily like draws images in their head when they're like when something is being told to them, I can see why that would be jarring for them. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I'm like, what is this noise over here?
Nicole says it ruins the imagination.
Yeah.
It does. It does. It doesn't give you a chance to figure out who they are because all you hear, because they most of the times they sound like little robots and not like the real people.
Right.
Which brings me to, have y'all seen the little snippet of Henry Cavalli reading The Witcher? I think that's how you say his name.
Oh no, he's
Wait.
doing that?
Yeah, I don't know if he's actually doing. I think it was for like a promotion or something. But he read like the first couple of pages of The Witcher, which if y'all know me, whew,
That was
I know,
just
right? We talked about that. We talked about that. Oh my
I
goodness.
was like, I can't believe he's reading to me.
Yeah, that's me all day.
Specifically though.
Like rewind. Can I hear him say again?
Okay, let's go it again. I didn't hear it. Let's turn it up. I'm sorry, that is my celebrity crush for the year. Okay.
Really? Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do worse. I mean,
Really?
like,
Well, she just threw that out there.
I mean, a lot worse you could be crushing on right now. Though. Ain't nothing wrong with this particular boy.
But I guess being Black and writing and the stigma of Black streetlit and fantasy writers. Oh, and Nicole says she tried to listen to the Twilight audiobook for fun. How did that turn out? How did that turn out? Because I didn't.
know. How did that?
Look at her being a trooper. Ooh. Oh, wow. That was one of those cases that I don't envy people who can picture things in their head, because there were some parts that I'm okay with never picturing. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm so good.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
She said she turned it off after
the one page.
Ooh.
Exactly as I thought it would go.
I'm amazed that they went ahead and tried to translate that into audio, to be honest. Like,
She was like, it's monotone AF. I see. I imagine. Because what's her name? Bella was pretty monotone. Like, she
I was about to
didn't have
say
any
that.
yeah,
flavor
like
to
her
herself
that's her
either.
character.
You're talking about in
Yeah.
the audiobook or just the movie
For
period?
both. For Twilight, I didn't
Across
watch
the
to listen
thing.
to it, but it's just like you can imagine what the book would sound like if it was audio.
You know, when I was reading the books, it was so much different from the movies. I just the characters that they had, I was just like, mm-mm.
Yeah. During the whole like Twilight craze, I will not lie, I was part of the Twilight craze too. But it was just like once you get older though, and you start reading those books, and you realize like some themes in there is just not right. Let's
Right.
let's read let's
But I
redo
think
this.
it's true of a lot of things though. Like once you gain that perspective, you'll go back and read something that you used to love when you were younger, and you're just like, but that's not physically possible in the laws of physics.
Exactly.
Like, what? Like, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm just saying scientists might say it's wrong.
Say something is not right
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
And it's
We're
just like
establishing
it was like if you go back and read, were y'all into like Eric Jerome Dickey back in the day?
Who?
Eric Jerome Dickey?
Oh no, I
No?
haven't.
No.
Oh dang.
Never read it.
I was really into him, and I'm scared to go back and like read the books because they might not be as great as they were like when I first read them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
thinking of reading adult books as a kid or like as a teenager, as a young adult, you think like, oh my God, I can't believe he said this and did this. But then you get to an adult and you're like, I've done worse.
Right?
Nicole says she's Team Jacob.
Oh,
I can't
girl.
be team anybody anymore. I'm sorry. They were all toxic. Okay.
I
was
never
Team
read it,
Jacob
so
when it started.
You were who?
I was Team Jacob when it started, but then as an adult who has bills, I'm like, well, maybe Edward. No lie.
Edward can pay those bills.
After some student loans happened, I'm like, man, Edward's kind of hot. Yeah, Edward.
Seriously. It's like either you choose the one who could just like rip his shirt off, or you choose the one who actually has the money.
Right?
He's got hundreds of degrees, so you know, what else?
So seriously, can we talk about like the stigma of Black writers and how most people automatically think that we will write street lit and not necessarily fantasy? Y'all get that?
Say that again.
The stigma of Black writers is that most of the time people automatically assume that they're writing street lit and that they don't write like fantasy or any other genre really, besides like those 2 or 3 names that you know off top of your head. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think the stigma, I think that sticks out to me the most is that Black writers, particularly the self-published Black writers, is that it's not written well or it's not edited properly.
Right.
That's the biggest stigma I see. I haven't really encountered the stigma of that, of like Black writers just solely writing street lit or whatever, or what have you. But the biggest one that I've seen across the board and that consistently comes up is that it's not edited well, it's not written well. That's the biggest thing. Because like even a couple of days ago, I've seen comments in another group basically was it a couple of days ago? No, it was one of those days where it was like support Black Authors Day or whatever, like buy books by Black authors. And a member had posted that, trying to promote Black authors. And of course, a couple of the comments were negative, like, yeah, support my trash book or something like that, somebody had said. So, like those things like that.
And I think another stigma is that we don't have the intellect to actually put a great book together. So, and I think a lot of that stems from, a whole bunch of other stuff. We're not gonna get into that, but I think that is a great, because when I've done book signings, you have certain people that come up to, oh, you wrote a book? Oh, why you gotta say it like that? Like, it's right here in front of you. What you think somebody else wrote it? I think that is one of the big stigmas, that we don't have the educational values, and we don't have, just like I said, the intellect to create something, not just street lit, just books in general. So I think that's a big one too. Just yeah.